host of the stupidest show ever, Jim Messina!
Hi Jim, thanks for having me on Vintage Drums Talk. I'm happy to introduce your audience to the NORTHUP Drums Museum, a museum about drums from the 1920s, 30s, and 40s that are actually in playing condition. Yes, you can come to this museum and sit down and play these old, beautiful trap kits. Now why don't you come with me? We're going to go in here in my gallery. It's an old dairy barn. Wait till you see this. You ready to come? Come on with me. We're going to take a tour. Hi Jim, welcome to the NORTHUP Drums Museum main gallery. So here in this gallery we have all kinds of painted head drums from the 1920s, 30s, 40s, all the way down the gallery. You can see that the whole gallery is filled with drums and traps and cymbals and all kinds of stuff, and we'll take a tour down there and get to that in a little while. But for right now I want to talk about this nice collection of painted head, original factory painted head drums here. We've got the Moose, we've got the Butterfly Girl from Leedy, this one is a Ludwig, we've got Slingerland heads that blink, and all the trap tables and consoles and all kinds of stuff. So why don't we go on down through here and just take a little tour. This is a very rare Leedy, another Butterfly Girl, Fairy Girl, and this is Con Leedy with a Con Black Beauty snare drum, with the temple blocks, trap table, Chinese toms, all the stuff, all the goodies. And then as we come here, we have this rack that has Slingerland Black Beauty, Leedy green drums, a very cool drum from the 1929 Ringling Brothers Circus. It went on tour in 1929. It's a Leedy drum. And then all kinds of cool traps. Now, as some of you have seen on my last video that I just posted, pictures, you've seen these are my latest additions to the museum. A Wahlberg Auger double hi-hat from about late 1930s, a very, very rare item. And even rarer than that, Ludwig solo blocks from 1928. And nobody's heard these yet, so I think we're just going to take 1 second and just give you guys a little taste of these. They're very cool and very rare. So all of these sets are set up in this museum that you can actually come here, and you've seen many videos of many drummers doing. You can come here and sit down and play these sets. All of these sets are playable, and you can pick your whatever kind you like. Slingerland, Leedy, Ludwig, old trap kits. Maybe you've never been able to play a trap kit before, and you'll get to come to this museum and actually sit down and play these drums. So here's a nice example of a Wahlberg Auger, original white ring pearl, with a matching snare drum, with a trap table, with temple blocks, and a drummer would have filled this table with all the traps that we're going to talk about back there for silent films or vaudeville, any kind of theater production like that. And then they dressed it up with a beautiful hand-painted head. We have the Spiderweb Girl here from Leedy. We have the Leedy silhouette. This is one of my favorites. This one is a very unusual silhouette. I have the other one too that's kind of hidden back there behind this really great snare drum, but there's another version of the silhouette that's beautiful with the moon. Just back up a little bit earlier than that, this is really cool. We have a Leedy overhang pedal. So that's something you're not going to see in many collections. And here in the NORTHUP Drums Museum, we actually have 2 of those, but you can come and you can play this very old kit with original early Wahlberg and Auger China tom holders, really Leedy snare, China cymbal, And this poster I love because Vic first put this out. It's called A Century of Drumming Evolution that he did with Daniel Glass. And it says 1865 to 1965. And if you look at this poster, it's wonderful because you see a lot of the same things in this poster that are right here in this museum that you can come and actually touch, play, you know, look at, get up close to. As some of the wonderful things in this showcase right here, we have a Gene Krupa trophy from the 1941 swing contest. That's the original trophy that was given to the second place winner. Photo of Gene with Joe Rayner, who was actually the second place winner. Louis Belson won that contest, and we have all the documentation, all the paperwork from Slingerland in this binder. And then if you pan down this case, we have a Slingerland Black Beauty, number 16. Ludwig Black Beauty, we have this is a 100th anniversary Ludwig Black Beauty, John Aldridge Black Beauty for Ludwig, and then we have other, there's a Leedy Black Beauty here, and other unusual snare drums in this case. And then we go back to a beautiful, another Ludwig Millstream drum set, complete with trap table, tempo blocks, China tom, hi-hat. Here's one of the owner before me framed the Leedy head because it was damaged on the drum, so he had it taken off the flesh hoop and actually framed it. This is the Venetian Boatman, which is a very, very rare head. There's only a few of those out there that we know of. So, but back to some of this stuff here. We've got some early snares, and we've got, I'm going to go through a progression here. Here's a Ludwig snowshoe pedal, the very first hi-hat, basically, or offbeat. And then after that came the lowboy, and Slingerland had their version of the lowboy, which was the Slingerland Duncan pedal, which is a very cool thing. We have a couple of these here in the museum that you could play, look at, you know, whatever. So I guess at this point, here we go. We're going into the fun room. We're going into where all the bells and whistles are, so follow me. We're going to talk about some trap kits in here first. So this kit right here is one of my favorites. This is a Leedy from 1936, and how we know that is I have a photograph of the gentleman the day he got it, standing behind this kit. And everything, I have the invoice for it, and everything that he bought with this kit is here, and then I've added a few Chinese toms. But all the stuff that he bought with it originally is here, and his family even wrote a book about this set, telling where he played it. And he actually opened this kit, opened for Artie Shaw playing this drum kit in the 1940s. So that was like opening for Elvis Presley or the Beatles. So that was like a really big deal. So that's one of the rarities here at the Northup Drums Museum. We have beautiful Ludwig painted heads here, a Leedy head. Here's a nice little Wahlberg and Auger. All the early accoutrements for a trap table. We've got a squawker, a ratchet, early pedal, early Chinese tom holders, a China cymbal. And then we're going to get to the fun stuff. We're going to go to the trap case. So this is all the bells and whistles and all the fun stuff to make all the sound effects for vaudeville silent films. We've got slide whistles, cowbells, train whistles, all kinds of stuff. Sand blocks, ratchets. This ratchet is my favorite ratchet. It's just really loud. We've got train whistles, all kinds of cowbells, and one of my favorite things we have here at the museum is a whole selection of hand cymbals and cymbals that mount on bass drums. And this is my forte. I'm going to be doing a whole segment on this, but we have all kinds of Bacca-da-Box, Gladstone cymbals, that Chick Webb used, that same type. And then we've got all kinds of cymbals that actually mount on a bass drum. And some of you have seen some of the demonstrations I've done on that. And then, I know, Jim, this is one of your favorite items that the museum owns. It's a very rare duplex afterbeat. And I think right now we know of maybe there's only around 3 of these known in the world. And one of them lives here, very happily, in this museum. So we've got that. low boys, early pedals. This is a great little trap kit here with a bird's eye maple wood block, cowbell set, Chinese toms, and this is a typical set that you would have in the 1920s and 30s. This would have been your setup: 2 cymbals, 2 Chinese toms, a cowbell rig, wood block, a little snare, and a hi-hat probably. Not to mention, in the case, all of the Ludwig and Slingerman and early pedals I have here. So that's basically a quick tour of the Northup Drums Museum. This is just a little quick tour of what you can expect to see when you visit here. So please come visit. Back to you, Jim. Thanks. Have a great day. I'm going to give it a go. Here.